Welcome back, friends. It's Savage Sasquatch from GamingReportCard.com, and we're playing Middle-earth Shadows of War on the Xbox One X. And so, we are in the Shadow War, and this is the part where we're at the last one. We have to defend ourselves against 20 different waves across all of our fortresses, across the 10 different Shadow War stages. And we are on the last stage and the last fight of that stage. So I lost, and this guy came back and killed me, and then I in that mission, and then on top of that, I was unable to in the siege to go back and kill him. So I've given myself a really good bodyguard, and we're gonna go back for unfinished business here and see if we can take him out once we bring out our awesome bodyguard. So, be really glad to be done with the Shadow War part here. Alright, here we go. As long as it lets me bring my bodyguard in here, I feel like I should be fine. This guy has been pretty invincible up to this point. And these are famous last words probably, but...
your last visit, and I will enjoy humiliating you again.
So this guy right here, he is arrow-proof, immune to execution, and... there's really not a whole lot else I need to be worried about. And this is it. Alright. Come on, mister. We're gonna, since he's arrow-proof, our arrows will be really good against these guys here. Let's thin the herd a little bit. Alright. So on to our friend here. Gotta dodge those, because he is got some poison here. Alright. And we want to be really careful against this guy. But right now he is just getting constantly dazed by the poison, and we set him on fire. Uh-oh. This is where things get a little hinky. And we want to keep the pressure on this guy. Alright, we're going to try to conquer him this way. It shows how much having... oh, he's too powerful. Well, let's shame him. That's fine by me. If that gets him out of here, knock him down like 10, 15 levels, 12 levels. That should give us our fortress back, and I'm curious if we have to defend it again now. Like I said, nice and easy when you've got that super powerful Olog with you.
Let the Lord of Mordor be warned! Every attack he launches will be met with steel and fury! Every army he sends will be annihilated!
That is it, I guess. So we've conquered the region back. So we got to promote somebody to Overlord. I don't want it to be like my most powerful guys because they don't get to see the fight. Sure, we'll promote this weirdo. There we go. And we got an achievement. Peace and Death. We completed the Shadow Wars. Thank heavens. Let's see what comes of this.
Talion held back the forces of darkness for decades. But the Dark Lord's ring had a will of its own.
It is over.
The Witch King.
Together, we will turn towards Middle-earth.
Talion finally fell and joined the Nine.
That's kind of what I figured was going to happen to Talion, that he would eventually succumb to the power of the ring and become one of the Nine. Basically taking Isildur's spot.
The One Ring was found. The newest of the Nazgul traveled with its brothers to the Shire in pursuit of the new Ring-bearer. And then, after decades of war, darkness gave way to light. A new fellowship. And an unlikely hero. Death came. Death to Sauron. Death to his dominion. And death to Talion, who walked out of darkness and found freedom.
Huh. So with the death of Sauron, the hold of the ring was broken, and Talion became whole again. I did not foresee this. What a good twist. I figured this was just going to be a tragedy, and in the end, he would be dead. And this is the how many weapons can we drop? Oh, that's Isildur's sword. Wow, that looks good.
Beauty burned, erased, but not forgotten. I'll take you.
So this was Middle-earth Shadows of War. Shadow of War, if I'm saying it correctly, I guess. So, we're going to go ahead and jump into our video review real quick, since that went pretty fast. So, I've had a blast with this game, and honestly, it's just a real shame that Shadow War was done the way that it was, because while it is cool that you held off 20 armies, 20 invasions, and you fought back the forces of Sauron and, you know, made this epic stand for decades, it's sad that it just plays into the developer's desire to get microtransactions involved to make you want to spend a little more money than you've already spent on the game. And that it's just so grindy. I really, through the first 3 acts, I thought this game was probably about a 95%. And I think it lost a little something in the last act. Don't get me wrong, it was still good, but I noticed some graphical glitches, things getting stuck. Things just didn't seem to go as smoothly during the Shadow War, and it wasn't as fun. I really, eventually, I started out loving it, and things were going smoothly, and then after a while it just became a big grind, and it was hours and hours and hours, and it was probably 10 hours at least to do the Shadow War, you know, to go through these 20 defenses, and a couple times I failed, had to go back and do these other missions, but I'm going on and on about this. So, the story overall, I loved the story. While some Tolkien purists may not be thrilled with it. All in all, it's a really good story with some good twists, some good characters, and I really liked where it went. And it went to places I didn't think it would go. And it also had a lot of epic moments. I mean, you have Balrogs and you have ring wraiths. The Nazgul are back in, were here in force, and we got plenty of action with them. We got to see Sauron. There was so much going on in this. So much betrayal, so much action, so many characters living and dying, and all of this with the great Nemesis system. So I really liked the game overall. It did a lot of things really well, and it looks pretty great. I don't think it quite holds up to maybe like stuff like Battlefield 1 and other games that have, and Horizon Zero Dawn, other games that have just the absolute most top-notch graphics, but it is still pretty dang good. So, love the graphics, and I think it had good music, it had good voice acting. I have no complaints with the sound. You know, I don't know, like I think my biggest frustrations in the thick of some of the bigger battles, gameplay-wise, I would get really frustrated because there was no way you could stand toe-to-toe. Like, I always felt like if you were playing a Batman Arkham game, you always had a chance to stand toe-to-toe and keep your hit streak going and to stay in the fight as long as you hit the right button inputs. And in this, there were times where I knew that just absolutely wasn't possible. Too many projectiles coming from too many directions, too many guys using abilities and swinging at you at different times, and trying to give you like multiple different button prompts at the same time. It just wasn't happening. So I felt like that could have been tuned a little bit better. And like I said, the Shadow War was just a little too grindy. Other than that, it had some really fun stealth gameplay. It had some really fun combat moments. I loved taking on all of these different Uruks and Ologs and Orcs in this big giant battle. You know, I loved the Nemesis system and everything it did. I liked fighting Balrogs and Nazgul. Like, I thought the game was a lot of fun. The combat was mostly good. There was a couple times where you would have inputs where your character would jump into something a little funny or wouldn't do exactly what you wanted to. But overall, those were more the exception than the rule. So the gameplay was great. I loved exploring. I loved getting all the collectibles that actually gave you good reason, whether it was story or whether it was giving you skill points and leveling up your character. Like, getting collectibles was actually kind of enjoyable, and they even told, like the Shelob collectibles actually even told an incredible story. So there's a lot that this game did right. And it just, like I said, I really hate that the last act was the way that it was, because that is the parting memory that you have of the game, and it doesn't match the rest of the game. The rest of the game was fantastic, and the final act was honestly just mediocre. You know, it was just so excessive, and you know, I'm still going to give the game high marks. I'm probably going to bump this down to about a 91, 92%. I still think it's an A- game. You know, I just think it's unfortunate because the developers could have done some things and done things differently had they not been playing towards microtransactions to make this a Game of the Year contender rather than just another good game. So, anyway, I hope you guys have been enjoying this. You know, this is it's been a long journey. So if you have enjoyed it, we'd love to hear from you in the comments. Let us know what you liked about it, what you'd like to see more of, if there's anything you need help with, any questions. We'll get back to you if you do. And if you are liking things, please let us know with a thumbs up. And above all, please subscribe to the channel. We will keep plenty more action coming your way. While we have finished Middle-earth Shadow of War now, we're going to continue bringing some more gameplay tips from Call of Duty World at War. We're going to, let's see, we've got PUBG coming out. That is some big deal. PUBG is coming out in just, let's see, it's just less than a week now. And at some point I'm going to dive into Cuphead here. We're gonna have some Star Wars Battlefront coming your way. We want to see that. You know, this is a story that takes place within the canon, my understanding. So I really want to see all of that and bring that to you guys. And we'll have some Overwatch Season 7 placement. There's a lot to look forward to, so hit that subscribe button so you don't miss a thing, because we're going to have a ton of different projects come out. So anyway, let's see if there's anything post-credits here. We're gonna skip the rest of the credits. Is that supposed to be Talion? Thought it was interesting how he got to Talion got to walk away at the end of the story, like post Lord of the Rings. This is really not what I was expecting. I really like to know where they're going with this. I think I may or know what this is about. I know that there was one of the developers, I believe, had passed away, either like around or right, I think it was just a few months before the game came out, and they were doing a special character orc for you to get as a tribute to him. So maybe this is him. I think this is really cool that they included this tribute to this guy as like the post-credits thing, and so I'm fairly certain, like I was saying, that this is the developer who passed away before the game came out, and I know that they were originally talking about selling his character and the proceeds going to the family, but I think they decided to give it away instead. So I'm guessing we're going to get that character, but I like how they're paying tribute to him by making him the most powerful orc, it looks like. Yep. Looks like he was 43. Too soon. Alright. Let's go through the... Let's go through the rest here. The road goes ever on. You have completed the story of Middle-earth Shadow of War. Continue to To battle by building the ultimate fortresses, increasing your rank in online conquests, and avenging your friends in online vendettas. You can also complete any unfinished quests, hunt captains, acquire new gear, and find any remaining collectibles. The story continues in The Blade of Galadriel and Desolation of Morder downloadable content packs. So those are 2 more story packs. There's also a couple of packs that give you 2 more regions full of orcs for you to conquer. So anyway, like I said, this has been a pretty spectacular adventure. I mean, the fact that, like, the draw distance on this is incredible. Where is my dragon? I know I got one somewhere. There he is. Alright, guys. So anyway, we are going to fly off. If we can find it. Into the sunset. So until next time, this is Savage Sasquatch from GamingReportCard.com, and I am out of here!